Hello everybody, welcome to Pokémon Silver, welcome to the Foreverlocke finale, for playthrough 60 already in the Foreverlocke. We are in Pokémon Silver back in Generation 2, in the 7th loop through the generations. We've done Gold, Silver, and Crystal all twice each, so with Silver now is our third one. And interestingly, this is our third time playing Silver because we've completed all the Gen 2 games twice. The next game we're playing is going to be the first one in Gen 3 that we play twice. Although, I guess Colosseum could be counted for that, but out of the regular games. Just because there's more. We're doing that a bit differently. But yeah, well, let's not get into Ruby Sapphire yet. We have a league to beat here in Johto Kanto. It's in Kanto, but it's with the Johto game. You get what I mean. Right, here's the squad that we are working with. That is not the squad that we had. That was... I am so annoyed at my streaming program. I put a new image in, and then it just doesn't keep the image. It just shows you the previous image that was on there. I put this one in yesterday, so I could just immediately show it. Is the death one going to show different too? No, the death one is normal. Alright, so we have one death. There's a clip of this on YouTube Shorts and on TikTok. I had Kingdra versus Kingdra against Clair. I was one level higher. I Dragon Breath, and that was fine. And then they Dragon Breath, and it was a crit, and I was dead. So that was great. This is the actual squad that we're using. I said a Suicune, this and Kingdra was the squad from the start. Not really. We started with just Dixie Kong, because I had no Pokemon. I couldn't use any of the starters revolutions. And no Pokemon fell within the first level cap without being so low, level 9. So Dixie Kong at level 10 started our adventure. Once we beat Faulkner, we could add Toxic Waste to Spinarak. Together, Dixie Kong and Toxic Waste beat all the way up to and including Bugsy, which allowed us to add our 3 URs, which at the time were Dawn the Eevee, Pseudo-Fluto the Sudowoodo, and we had Master Boss the then Horsey, which took a while to evolve into Seadra and then quickly Kingdra because I already had the Dragon skill prepared. And then after beating Price and upping the level cap to 35 for Jasmine, we got access to Maggie. The Magnemite who was waiting at level 35. So that was our team, and I'm thinking, oh yeah, we're looking pretty good. Claire's always kind of scary, and then unfortunately Kingdra didn't make it. That's unfortunate. We added Suicune. I feel pretty confident in this. It's like 1 or 2 Pokemon that are kind of scary. Karen's Gengar is one to always watch out for, because that has Destiny Bond. My main Pokemon I can use there is Dawn the Espeon. I'm only 3 levels higher than that at the moment. I do have Psychic and I can deal a lot of damage against it. But Espeon and Gengar have the same base speed, so I might actually use Headbutt first, or Bite, just to test how much, like, who's faster, and then take them out from there. Maybe get a flinch off a Bite, that'd be cool too. I'm gonna just quickly check my items. Hi Manny, welcome to the stream. So we got these items, we got 55 full restores. I think we'll be okay, got some Ethers, Max Elixir, stuff like that for after Karen probably. Mystic Water and Never Melted just in case I want to use them, probably not. Everyone looking good here. Confirming that the held items listed here are correct. Lefties, that is the intention. Lefties here again, yep. And lefties for you. I have 3 leftovers this playthrough. Pink Bow for return. I made sure to max out Dixie Kong's friendship before we came in here. But doing the haircut, going to the haircut brothers whenever possible. Bright Powder just in case. I don't expect to use Toxic Waste or Dixie Kong. Dixie Kong is a bit faster, so that might come in. The return can do decent damage and has some coverage with the others, although its special attacks that isn't great. Don't think I'll use Toxic Waste, but it has a good moveset to maybe do something. And Magnemite has a lot of resistances due to being a Steel type. I can do pretty well with Thunderbolt, so I think we're gonna be okay. Let's go fight Will. Closes behind you, really signifying the... You're stuck in here. You're not leaving until you're champion, or you're dead. Well, your Pokemon are dead. Also, you have to stand on the left side because that looks cool in the Pokeball image when the battle starts. Welcome to the Pokemon League, Reddick. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Will. I have trained all around the world, making my psychic Pokemon powerful. And at last, I've been accepted into the Elite Four. I can only keep getting better. Losing is not an option. Alright, starting with Xatu. Huzzah! I'm Xatu. We're gonna start with Bites. I intentionally waited quite a while for Eevee to evolve. I think the level, is it 30? Or was it 36? I don't know. Whenever Eevee learns Bite, because Espeon in Gen 2 does not learn Bite. And even though Eevee started with Shadow Ball, I had given that TM to Eevee. Didn't expect that one shot. Nice. I had taught Eevee Shadow Ball in a previous playthrough, which is a really nice coverage move to start with. But Shadow Ball in this game is physical, and Bite is the special move. It feels a bit weird now knowing the physical special split. But Espeon's special attack is twice as good as his physical, so Bite is better than Shadow Ball. Or the other Xatu comes in now. Okay. Pretty sure that's the exact same moves. Num num. And as a reminder for those watching the Twitch stream live, I am not looking at Twitch chat during these battles because I want to make sure I focus and don't make mistakes. I want to make sure I know when something gets a crit, a special defense drop, a confusion, and I remember, well, have the highest chance to remember the really important things. Let's see, Jinx, Ice Punch, and Psychic. I think I'll still stay. Shadow Ball here would have been really nice, just because of how Jinx's physical defense is so much lower than her special. Got the flinch out. Let's use Headbutt, just to have used it. Boink. Didn't think about it yesterday to get the chance for return. Initially, the plan was to do the finale on Friday, but because of Wednesday's stream being shorter than normal, I wasn't able to get to the finale on Friday, which moved it to today. That did mean I could have gotten the TM for return yesterday on Sunday, but when I thought about it, it was only past midnight and it was going into Monday. That is Exeggutor. I think Dawn can just take it out with Bite. Maybe not a one-shot, but Exeggutor doesn't deal that much damage. Gen 2 still feels quite similar to Gen 1 in the sense that the movesets usually aren't optimal. Like, you can make an argument for various movesets, like what is optimal and a proper challenge. But there's some limitations still to what they have. Definitely not like in Red and Blue where it's a lot of normal moves and then Slowbro just has Water Gun and doesn't actually have anything decent Psychic. Or something like that. Alright, 49 for Dawn. Got a nice level up. The reason I especially like this level up is because it gives it Dawn extra speed, which gives it a higher shot to outspeed that Gengar. I always have to be cautious around Karen's Gengar just because of Destiny Bond, and it can be fast. Very low chance to even use Destiny Bond, but if it does and you KO it, that's a dead Pokemon for you as well. And I don't want that. Alright, Dawn, why don't you bite this one too? It's used to being bitten. I don't take damage, that's Amnesia. Increasing their special defense, but that was about 2/3 initially, so this might still KO. Let's go. That is well taken care of by Dawn, by just biting a bunch and headbutting a Jinx. Or was it Xatu? I think it was Jinx. Even though I was defeated, I won't change my course. I will continue battling until I stand above all trainers. Now, Reddick, move on and experience the true ferocity of the Elite Four. That went very well. I think we're gonna just start with Dawn on the next one as well. Maybe Sudowoodo. I think Dawn can do well against a lot of these Pokemon. I am Koga of the Elite Four. I live in shadows, a ninja. My intricate style will confound and destroy you. Confusion, sleep, poison. Prepare to be the victim of my sinister technique. Pokemon is not melee by brute force. Useless is soon enough! It is the Koga. We're gonna beat him. Let's go. Psychic? I don't use Psybeam on one of them. Maybe I should have done it on Ariados. It's not exactly going to deal a lot back. But then again, no. I want to play it safe. I got a PP up on Psychic. Psybeam is really just the backup for if Psychic runs out. Fortress. Can take it out pretty easily with a fire move. Kind of want to use that with Apom. However, Fortress does have Explosion. We don't want to deal with Explosion. Especially on an Apom, whose stats just overall aren't that great. It's good speed and okay attack that it can use return with. Let's surf. I think Suicune is a really cool design. Probably in terms of design, one of my favorite Pokemon. Not even a KO here, so we do have Spike, so we'll take a little bit of damage. However, with a trainer sending in a new Pokemon happening before the end of the turn in the first 3 generations, and Leftover still taking place at the end of it, if I, let's say, switched back to Espeon after this, Espeon will take Spikes damage, but then will heal with lefties. And I think Spikes is just 1 layer in this game. I think it's... What is the damage on it? I think it's... 1/6, like 1/10, 1/8, 1/6? That's it's 1/8 in Gen 2. Gen 3 onwards, it goes from 1/8 to 1/6 to 1/4. Yeah, okay, so it was something like that, okay. So I'll take 1/8 the damage, then 1/16. So half the damage I take with Spikes, I'll immediately heal with lefties. Waterfall. Boink. That's Fortress dealt with. I didn't see what Pokemon was coming out. I was checking back for my cat. My cat's still sleepy. Get him off. We got Espeon. All your other Pokemon are weak to Espeon, and Espeon's freaking fast too. Here with lefties. Psychic. Yeah, Espeon's useful in this game. Let's go. Crobat's a big one. Can be really annoying, especially if we get some double teams off. We can heal the Toxic, but the double team is just frustrating. I guess if they calculate 1/8, it might round differently than when they calculate 1/16th, and therefore I don't have all my health back, but that does kind of really annoy me. The fact that I took 1/8 of my health and damage, and then healed 2/16th, but it's not the same. My math brain does not like this. Psychic. Faster than Crobat. Let's go. Crobat's a fast Pokemon. Let's go. And that just leaves Mach. Mach can be pretty darn annoying with Acid Armor minimized into Toxic. But we have... Dawn, who can Psychic. Hopefully I can actually use the other Pokemon. I was considering using Maggie the Magnemite against Will, but I thought, no, I'll just play it safe and use Espeon. And so far, Espeon's doing really well. Already got another level up out of it. Let's go, Espeon. And Esco got beaten. I guess who's opening against Bruno? If this was the Kanto games, Bruno has 2 Onix and his lead Pokemon is an Onix. And in that scenario, I would lead with Aurora. because Aurora does well against Onix. However, one of his Onix is changed because there's more fighting types now in Gen 2. Now, he could have still just used something like a Poliwrath. He didn't even need an Onix. Maybe have one Onix because of the anime. Maybe. But, yeah, they didn't use Poliwrath, they didn't use Primeape. They're just like, no, Onix and the Hitmons and then Machamp. That is your squad. Doing well so far. Not really anything scary. Didn't even need to use healing items thanks to the leftovers. Let's fight some more Pokemon. An area with lava, so this is definitely a fire trainer. Definitely. They withstand our power. I see no fear in you. You look determined. Perfect for battle. Ready, Reddick? You will bow down to our overwhelming power. Hoo-ha! We're gonna upgrade to the 34 member. There's the Hitmontop. There's a second. I don't know why Hitmontop is more purpley than brown. It should just be brown. Just the Hitmon colors, but whatever. They have good special defense now. In Gen 1, their special stat is just horrible. In Gen 2, the three of them, all three Hitmons have good special defense stat. Special attack is still horrible. Here's Onix. We are gonna use Aurora. I used that Whirlpool on Aurora as well. Got rid of it for Detect, just in case it might be useful. Might be nice for stalling for a turn, just in case if I get leftovers healing. I don't think the opponents really have a lot of setup moves or things like Solar Beam. But maybe like Detect for a leftovers heal turn might be useful, because I wasn't going to use Whirlpool, except for maybe here. I would have used Whirlpool here just to show how much damage I could still do with the Suicune versus an Onix. Oh no, we are fighting Hitmonchan. Go Dawn. Is this going to be the Dawn show until we get to Karen or Lance? Because Lance is going to be the Aurora show. I haven't even used Sudowoodo. There's some finales where I use all of my Pokemon. And then there are some finales where I use just the URs, or maybe 2 URs and a Monex. But then it's usually pretty spread depending on the fight. Sure, there's 1, maybe 2 Pokemon in the first one, and maybe the same one on the second one, and then the third one comes into the third fight. So far, it's been mostly Dawn and the occasional use for Aurora. Oh, Hitmonlee. Let's see, what is Hitmonlee week 2, and is it slower than Dawn? Psychic. I'm gonna use one of my ethers after this on Psychic. I don't think I'll use it too much against Karen, although I say that she has 2 poison Pokemon that are very much weak to Psychic, and one of them is Gengar. Here's Machamp. We're gonna Psychic it, so it goes down. And we're going to actually use a healing item after this battle to make sure I'm at full health. Let's go. Pew, 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 pew. Let's go. Almost another level up. Didn't get it because we skipped Onix. We did that one with Aurora. Going real fast, real easy so far. Makes me think again, yeah, probably didn't need Suicune here. Maybe should have used something else, but I had a good consideration for Quagsire to replace Kingdra, because I didn't want a water Pokemon. I did want like a water Pokemon with an ice move. Whether that's a Blastoise, Kingdra, a Suicune, or Quagsire, a water Pokemon with an ice move is just so useful against the League, especially against Lance. You just need something to take care of Gyarados, and then the rest just works. Pretty much every Johto playthrough I end up having a water type with Ice Beam. Or maybe Ice Punch in the case of Feraligatr. Let's go to the next one. We are not using Espeon, even though it would be cool to have the Evolution Mirror Match. We're not doing that. Who do I use? They do have mean look, so I need to commit to the Pokemon. Well, they have high defense. I should just go with good stats. I haven't used Pseudo-Fluto yet. Pseudo-Fluto can do good damage. Aurora can deal good too. I'm gonna use Pseudo-Fluto. I just hope they don't sand attack mean look me, because that'd be annoying. Actually, let's compare stats just to make sure they get really annoying with confused by sand attack. Pseudo-Fluto stats compared to Suicune. 115 attack to 114 special attack, but Umbreon has a higher special defense than defense, even though both are very high. I am Karen of the Elite Four. You're Reddick? How amusing. I love Dark-type Pokemon. I find their wild, tough image to be so appealing, and it's so strong. Think you can take them? Just try to entertain me. Let's go. There's Umbreon. Let's go Pseudo-Fluto. We've actually used 3 Pokemon now. Starting with Sand Attack. That's annoying. We haven't been mean looked yet. I was gonna say, if I missed this, I would have switched. Although, if this does enough damage, I'm gonna switch anyway, just to make sure I don't get the Sand Attack annoyance. That was a crit. That's not that much damage. I'm gonna take the switch now. Go Aurora. Umbreon's not too strong, it's just really annoying. And with mean look, it can be a bish. I would love if Calm Mind existed and I could set up with it with Aurora. And Fuzzled. We do get a Surf Off. Higher power than Rock Slide. The higher special defense than Umbreon, so we'll go into the red, I think. Well, until the red gets the KO, let's go Aurora. Yeah, we should have used Aurora from the start. Alright, here comes Vileplume. Well, guess what's really good against Vileplume? It's Dawn! I forgot to use the Ether, but I think I have enough power points left. Because I'm not going to use Psychic against the other 2 Dark types. Hello! I'm going to use a Vileplume at some point in Gen 2. I have an Oddish waiting for that. Pew, 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 pew. Critical. Don't think that was needed. Level up for Dawn. Dawn started 3 levels lower than Aurora the Suicune. They're at the same level now. Suicune just has a bit more of the XP because it's beaten a few Pokemon. Murkrow. Guess who Murkrow is weak to? Pseudo-Fluto, who's actually going to get a KO this time, not just appear and do 1 hit. Pseudo-Fluto! Hello, I'm Pseudo-Fluto! I feel like I could do a pretty good Pseudo-Wudo imitation. I didn't realize that. Pseudo-Wudo! Rock Slide! Only sounds good when you actually say the name. Pseudo-Wudo! Birds don't like rocks! Bye, Murkrow. Here comes the scary Gengar. No, I didn't want to send in Aurora. I just, for some reason, thought that, oh, Aurora is Espeon, or I thought it was in 2nd slot? I don't know. But Lick, Spite, Curse, Destiny Bond. I'm gonna take the switch. Probably still better. Use Curse. I don't know if I'm faster. I should be faster, but just to be safe. Bite is gonna kill him too. Substantially from here. Okay, I'm faster. Yeah, we got it. Gengar's down. Unintentional XP there for Aurora. And I'm gonna switch so we don't actually take the curse damage. Now it's Aurora's turn. Maybe I thought Aurora and Espeon were the same because they have a similar model in the team overview. Is Houndoom one of the Pokemon that has 3 different sprites in Gen 2? Not many. Let me go and check. Yeah, it does, because it has the fire-breathing one in gold. It has this one, and then it has a darker one in crystal, where it just stands in a similar pose with mouth closed. And that's Karen dealt with. Still with very limited damage. This is going quickly and well. We're not done yet, but it's going well. Champion is already waiting, so let's throw some ethers and elixirs on. The only one that really needs some is Aurora. Not Aurora, Dawn. Yeah, I made the mistake again. Dawn. Maybe because Aurora feels like some kind of positive light thing like Dawn is. Maybe that's why. Elixir. Aurora used different moves. Sudafluta used Rock Slide. That should be just everyone completely healed. Alright, Lance opens with the one that I can deal with the worst. Like, have the least good matchup against. I do have Maggie. However, the Gyarados can still surf. And Maggie doesn't have the biggest defensive stats. Especially, like, special defense is lower. But that's still kind of risky. I think I'll go with Aurora. Dawn could probably deal more damage than Aurora. But still look at the one-shot, because Gyarados' special defense is still 100, I believe. And Dawn could take big damage from Hyper Beam. Aurora takes less. The Sudowoodo is weak to Surf. So I'll open with Aurora. Is everyone good on HP? Yes, you are. Alright, in that case, we're gonna go beat Lance and beat the champion. This is gonna go real quick. Even the Elite Four is stronger, and Johto's always been my hometown ever since Heartfield. I kind of consider it that way. I have a fantasy world, fantasy setting thing where my character lives in Sinnoh just because I really like the Sinnoh region. But my character originally is from Johto and lived in Violet City. And then when they were 6 years old, they moved to Solaceon Town in Sinnoh and learned about a lot more about Pokemon there. Got along well with the daycare couple. They taught them how to take care of, like, the basics of taking care of Pokemon. And that's where the character got their first Pokemon. They got a Chimchar egg. And they couldn't initially take care of the Chimchar because they were not old enough, but they took care of the Chimchar, well, with the daycare couple. They were just mostly responsible. But when my character was 10 years old, they could take the Chimchar for themselves, and it was their Pokemon to use. I've been waiting for you. Reddick! I knew that you, with your skills, would eventually reach me here. There's no need for words now. We will battle to determine who is the stronger of the two of us. As the most powerful trainer, and as the Pokemon League champion, I, Lance the Dragon Master, accept your challenge! Let's go, Aurora. I have 10 Ice Beams, and I kind of want to use at least 3 of them for the Dragonite. Let's see how much what you can do against Gyarados. They should have 1 full heal and a full restore. That's gonna be the full heal. I'll absolutely take this, because they need the turn to use the full heal. Although they don't, for some reason. Sure. Is this 2/3 and can I KO him from here? But if I use Waterfall, that's gonna put them into heal range anyway. So let's just try it with Ice Beam. Are we gonna have one of the easiest E4 runs just in any game? Gen 1 run just due to like Gen 1 Red and Blue, maybe? Because the playthrough had the Mew. Pokemon Red playthrough 5. Might have been an easy one, I don't remember exactly how that went. But that probably was a pretty easy one. This one's looking pretty safe. Because outside of Thunder on one of the two level 47 Dragonite, they don't have a super effective move against me. They can still hit hard with stuff like Stab, Outrage, or with Hyper Beam. But Aurora's still pretty fast, has a good special attack. I think I can one-shot everything from here. And because I knew Aurora would be fighting Lance, fight the biggest ones, I gave Aurora most of the rare candies. I did give one to Espeon, knowing it would be used against quite a few Pokemon probably, and especially it was important to gain that just extra speed just to outspeed that Gengar. We're looking good so far. Here's the other Dragonite, who we're also going to Ice Beam. I just want to see the animation of Detect, because you see Protect somewhat regularly maybe. Detect not so much. And I happen to have the TM for Detect, and I thought I'll replace Whirlpool with it. There's the other Dragonite. They're going for that first. Don't have a Pokemon that's weak to water, but you're still fortunate weak to Ice. Ice Beam. Are we going to beat Lance without them landing an attack? Which makes me think, how many attacks did the entire Elite Four get to do? Jinx got an attack off? I don't remember which. It wasn't a damaging one, so maybe they tried one but it missed. Slowbro used Amnesia, but still went down to the second bite. Bruno's Hitmonchan used Mach Punch. I think all of Fortress from Koga used Spikes, because it didn't go down in one surf. Karen used Sand Attack and Confuser with Umbreon. Gengar used Curse because it sent in the wrong Pokemon. The only one that actually dealt damage that I can remember are Fortress through Spikes, and then the Hitmonchan through Mach Punch because that had a priority. And then we got the Freeze on Gyarados, which saved us from that damage. This is kind of a history. I'm not keeping track of the amount of damage I've taken in an E4, how many moves they've used. But this is one of the smoothest runs. Okay, Aerodactyl is fast. Never mind. I don't go down here to a crit, right? Aerodactyl's not that too good. Not that good. Good. Critical didn't even do half. We're fine. I kind of wanted to become champion without, you know, damage on me. That's not gonna work unless I let the Charizard Hyper Beam me, and then I heal or something. That's not really the thing. I am gonna just use Detect to get a bit more healing, because that feels right. It does allow them to get an extra move, but it doesn't really work. You look a little weird, Charizard, but I guess that's the Charizard sprite that's also in the Ruins of Alph. There's a Charizard puzzle that looks a bit weird around the mouth. Alright, let's see what Detect looks like. That's about what I remembered. Oh no, Flamethrower didn't work. What a surprise. Honestly, I'm not even gonna do it with Surf Waterfall. Yeah, that was easy. This finale is not even 40 minutes. This is the quickest finale ever. Like, the occasional Gen 1 or 2 finale might be under an hour. And we're gonna go through the credits, so it'll be more close to 45 because we'll do an outro and show the other 3 Pokemon at least once doing something. But, wow, that was really smooth and really fast. Oh my god, let's interview the brand new champion! Ugh, this is getting to be a bit too noisy. Would you come with me? But we haven't done the interview yet! Yeah! I want to get an exclusive interview! It's been a long time since I last came here. This is where we honor the League champions for all eternity. The courageous Pokemon are also inducted. Hi, Bente. Here today, we witnessed the rise of a new League champion. A trainer who feels compassion for and trust in his Pokemon. I think it's trust toward in one of the other games. A trainer who succeeded through perseverance and determination. The new league champion who has all the makings of greatness. Reddick, allow me to register you and your partners as champions. 40 minutes after starting stream, and that is including still, actually, there was a few minute wait before I actually started, so we may hide 40 minutes. Aurora the Suicune replaced Kingdra after Clair took it out. Dawn the Espeon did so much in the first 3 fights. Let's go, Espeon. Fought against Karen as well. Fludo! In the Hall of Fame. Who knew that the tree that you get after Whitney is really good against Whitney? Dixie Kong the A-Pump wasn't shown, but I'll do like 1 or 2 battles with it after. Dixie Kong Spin Rock, then Toxic Waste, thank you so much for doing the first 2 gyms for me. And then Maggie showed up late. Really nice with steel typing. Thunderbolt hit for really good damage. Maggie has good special attack. And now we dance. One of my favorite credits. Just because. We dance with all the Pokemon, with the Elican, with the Igglybuff, and the Ditto. It's so nice. Let me go share that in the Foreverlocke Discord. Oh my god, oh yeah. That might have been the smoothest and especially quickest league I've done in the Foreverlocke. 6 new Hall of Famers. Okay, so I guess we can already start previewing the next playthrough, which is going to be on Wednesday. I intentionally didn't say the game we were going to play on, like that we were going to start with on Wednesday. In my own time, I'm going to clean up this playthrough. And clean up, I'm referring to maybe teach some TMs to, well, yeah, TMs and HM to the new capture that was a horsey, which will be our Kingdra for a future Gen 2 playthrough, because they already recaught that. Choose held items that I want to trade transfer over to a future playthrough as well. Put them back in storage. And then on Wednesday, we're going to start with Generation 3. The one after that, already, we're going to do Let's Go. We're going to go to Let's Go Pikachu after we've completed the Gen 3 game. The Gen 3 game we're going to play is going to be the first one. Well, the first Gen 3 game that we're going to do twice, if you don't count XD Coliseum, because I initially only counted them as side games. We're going to play Pokemon Ruby. And we have a grand total of 1 Pokemon in storage that can be used before Roxanne, and it's a Wingull. Sure has an advantage with Water type, but also has a disadvantage because of flying. But I do have a starter that I can use. I'm considering starting with Trico. So let's see how that goes. We have a lot of Pokemon to catch in that playthrough, which is going to feel really weird. I've not caught a bunch of Pokemon in a playthrough for a long time. Maybe 1 or 2 here and there. But yeah, a lot of things died in Coliseum, and I'd like to get more than 24 Pokemon in storage. I literally just have 24 Pokemon in Gen 3 storage right now, and it's crazy. Or even less. So I want to fix that. I think it's 18 now, actually. So I look forward to a bunch of captures in that playthrough. Really not sure what the starting team will be, because some of the early captures that we can do are before the first gym, such as Schumish or Breloom in the first in Petalburg Woods. So that's going to be an interesting one, to figure out how to make that team work. Let's watch the intro. Before I say goodbye, I do want to show off my other 3 Pokemon. So we're gonna beat some small Pokemon. Oh my god, it's a phone call. What if I don't want to? I'm on a bike and a bike and a bike. I'm on a bike. Shiny Pokemon. Come on. Shiny. Now. Darn it. Would have been so cool if I could just colt that. Alright, Dixie Kong. Return. Boing. Didn't end up using it. But Dixie Kong was really nice in the initial part of the game. Got more level ups than I thought. But Dixie Kong was really cool with the type coverage it had. Had Return from the start, so I don't think it changed its movesets at all, but initially Return was weak because its happiness level was very low. But it grew with Apom. Would have had Return at a maximum power faster if I didn't put all the haircuts initially onto Eevee to get it to evolve to Espeon. Because you need a lot of friendship to make that happen. Alright, Toxic Waste will give you 2 fights. I'll go to Cherry Grove because I need to be there to have access to a Pokemon Center anyway. Hoot hoot! Did you know that Hoothoot has 2 legs? I've known for quite a long time. Some people are discovering it through Pokopia, apparently. Hoothoot has 2 legs, they just swap between them when they walk. I want to show the animation for Giga Drain because it's cool. They make you feel a lot more special than Absorber. Like you have Absorb, and you have Mega Drain, which is just bigger Absorb, and here's like Drain, changing colors, extra like unique sound effects, the extra like little lighty effects. Oh my god, I'm healing. That's really cool. Also, Toxic Waste. I don't think you're that Toxic Waste yet because you're all purple, or maybe you're just massively Toxic Waste because you're purple. You're supposed to be a green Pokemon. Alright, Maggie, your turn. I will let you, Maggie. First, we're gonna just Sonic Boom one of the Pokemon in the grass here. And then we'll go on the water and let you Thunderbolt a water type. Which is probably going to be a Tentacle. Let's be real. Sonic Boom. It looks a lot like Gust. Oh, hey, sir, that could give me a town... Yeah, they give you a town map in this game. I didn't need a town map. I kind of know where I'm going. Also, I don't have the radio card, so I just have the phone with the 2 mandatory ones and then Bill, just in case, but I wasn't going to catch much, so it doesn't really matter. Tentacruel! Alright, Maggie, why don't you show this thing your electric powers? Thunderbolt. The interesting thing about Maggie is I could use it after Price, before Jasmine. For the first time I added it to the team. Jasmine's first 2 Pokemon? Magnemite. So it was Magnemite versus Magnemite. Then I could have used... I don't think I had Earthquake and Sudowoodo yet, because I didn't have the TM. But I could have used other Pokemon that could have just hit them harder. Sudowoodo could have done stuff with Lokic, for example. But no, I wanted to make sure that Magnemite took out Magnemite. To show that my Magnemite was superior. Unfortunately, my Kingdra was not superior against Clair's Kingdra. I wasn't able to win that mirror match. Well, with how smooth and fast that was, that's the stream for today. Thank you very much for watching and supporting. That was a quick one. I will see you tomorrow for marbles. And then on Wednesday, same time that we started today, 8 p.m. my time, and with the time change, that would be 3 p.m. US Eastern instead of 2. We're gonna start Pokemon Ruby with Wingull and then I assume Trico. And then we'll catch some stuff and have some fun along the way. Hope to see you next time, and make sure you always remember that you are worth it. Thunder Wave!